Now it's time for practicing what you just heard about it. Get a drink and let's begin. All right, so let's go back to our project. I'm using the Node.js 18 for this project. And now let's create a new folder called by duplex streams. All right. So first of all, let me introduce you the API, and then we're gonna go through more examples. So transform API MJS. Okay, so we won't need any package JSON here. All right. So first of all, let's import them, right? So from node string, I'm gonna grab duplex and transform. Okay, just to show the difference between them. Okay, first of all, a duplex string, we should implement both read and write functions. Okay, so let's introduce our duplex. So we will have write and read. Okay, it's missing comma here. All right, so first of all, to write, it's a writable string, right? So it's the same signature we've been using, callback. Okay, so here I'm gonna just put a console log like writable saving, and I'm gonna print out our chunk. Okay, and then I'm gonna call and I'm gonna call the callback. Okay, nice. And for the read function, I'm gonna actually implement our data source there, but let's try doing something first. So here I'm gonna call maybe server to simulate a server, writing something there. So what if I try writing data there? So I'm gonna say duplex, okay, key, this is a writable. Okay, so if you try running, let's go to this folder first, and then let's run again. So right now we can see a huge buffer, right? But we should read this data as a string. So here, for all of those functions we use in Node.js streams, we can pass a flag here called object mode. Okay, so if I run this object mode, we can see it as string. Okay, but notice that we are parsing everything as a string now using objects and not buffers anymore. So this might consume more memory in this case. Okay, nice. Okay, so to prove that they are different communication channels, write triggers the writable string from our duplex. Okay, nice. So a writable string have write, and a readable string has push, right? So push usually it's our own data, right? So it our server.on data will be triggered every time we call the push function. Okay, nice. So let's write here too. So duplex, hey, this is also a readable. So we can see two different things here, right? I'm using push, and I have like an empty function here. I'm gonna implement something here, and you're gonna see the difference, but let's try out to see what's going on here. So you can notice that only our write function was there, right? Because we have just the log here. And the read function, it just produced data. We cannot receive data from here. To catch this message, we should add our server data, and then we can see all those messages. Okay? Just to make sure you understood, let's try creating a transform string, okay? Const transform to uppercase to see the difference. I'm gonna implement the transform as we've done in the last class. Same signature for now, callback. And I'm gonna call our callback here. Same thing, we should pass our object mode as true. And then I'm gonna just say no errors and our chunk to uppercase, okay? And now I can do the server.pipe to our transform to uppercase, and then I could pipe again to our writable string, which is our server. Let's see how this works. Ooh, something wrong has happened. Chunk, oops, it's to uppercase. Ooh, nice. Now we have a pipeline. We are just receiving data, all right, from our readable stream, which was called by our push function. We are actually transforming it just to transform something else, and then we can see our output on our writable stream. But see, when we use the write function, it won't go through on our transform. It got directly to the writable stream. So you can see there are different things, all right? You can see one, our transform was activated, and other, it wasn't, okay? Perfect. So let's try implementing the read function so we can see more and more examples how this could work. All right, so I'm gonna try creating some infinite data here. So I'm gonna grab a function here. I'm gonna create a set interval, okay? And then I'm gonna call this function using this, okay? Because using this, I can use the clear interval if I want, okay? Clear interval. So here I'm gonna use the interval context. This is new, right? So I'm gonna use the interval. The first time it will go there, we can see it will be cleaning after some time. So now I'm gonna try creating here a counter. All right, so I'm creating a property here, and this time it's undefined, right? So if it's undefined or new, it's gonna receive 0, okay? Otherwise, it's gonna receive the actual data it has already there. Nice. Then I will actually increment this value, counter ++, and then I'm gonna generate some data here. So with push, my name is Eric, and put our counter, this counter, okay? And I'm gonna return. Okay, so if this counter is less than equal 5, I'm gonna just provide data. Otherwise, I'm gonna clean this interval, and after cleaning it, I'm gonna send push with new. So with no, we say that our readable string just finished sending data, okay? I'm gonna save it and let's see what happens. Nice. See, now our readable stream is working, all right? It reproduced 6 items right there, and all of them got through our transform string. So there are different channels, okay? But what if we try writing data directly to our transform? What happens? So transform to uppercase dot write. So it will be transform hello from writer. What happens? Well, if you go there, you can see that we are saving our transform function, okay? But it got through our writable stream from our duplex anyway. Nice, isn't it? Well, as I said, the transform is also a duplex, so we could do the same thing with push. Well, hello from reader. Well, what's gonna happen now? Will it go to our transform or it will go directly to the result? Let's see. Well, as we can see, the transform is a reader here right now, but as we are activating the readable string there, and we don't have anyone waiting for data from this transform data, waiting for events there, it just printed out the whole thing without going through our transform string. Okay? So here, I'm gonna just comment here. So it will redirect all data to the writable, the duplex writable channel. Nice, isn't it? Well, let's write the behavior here so you will remember. So right here on the push method will ignore what you have in the transform function, okay? Because it's actually only using the writable, not the readable string. All right, let's go to the second example. Now you understood that we have different channels into the same duplex, but you're gonna see that it's rare to use duplex directly. We often use transform or pass through duplex functions. I'm gonna show you in another example. Well, let's go to the second one. It's duplex broadcast MJS. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to create streams that doesn't affect our pipeline. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna import our string functions, node string, and I'm gonna grab the duplex we already used in the pass through. The pass through, it's nice as well. It's you will see less this one, but it's powerful in the same way. Okay, nice. Okay, the first thing you should know is that we can use a duplex dot from to create duplex streams from different channels. So I'm gonna say my readable will be an object and my writable will be another object, and I'm gonna import from our node fs the create read string and write string. Okay, and to read data, I'm gonna use create read string. I'm gonna create a big file there that is not there yet, but we could create in a few moments. And I'm gonna write the output to the output.txt. Okay, so I'm gonna create something here like the big file, like my name is Eric, hello world. Okay, perfect. And the output will be created when we are writing data. Okay, so the string there. Okay, and then as you know, as we have a duplex, we can actually pipe it to itself. Okay, so if I try doing this directly, you're gonna see that we will have the same content in another file. See, I just ran and then the output has exactly the same data we had there. Okay, nice. Well, but let's say that we are trying to do some WebSocket or some communication, and we have a lot of customers connected and we want to notify them as soon as we have a new chunk. See what we can do. First of all, I'm gonna grab here. Let's create some IDs. Oops. Some IDs. To create IDs in Node, we use Node. Oops. Node crypto and random UID. And then I'm gonna simulate some consumers, which will be a lot of other streams connected. So I'm gonna generate two IDs here, random UID, and then I'm gonna grab this ID and I will create writable streams. Okay, writable. I just got from string there. Nice. Writable streams, easy, right? Chunk. encoding, and callback. Always remember to call your callback. Perfect. Now I'm gonna just put some log here and say, oh, I got some bytes. So chunk dot length. Then I have my ID. I would say I will put my ID here. Okay. Just to notify that I got something and receive a message at, and I'll say new date twice a string. Okay, and then a callback, I can say the new and the chunk, but as it's a writable string, we could just call the callback. Okay, so for each ID I created, I will have a different writable string. So what I want to do, every time I have a new chunk, a new piece of data, I'm gonna notify all these customers that are connected to my application. Okay, that's it. So first of all, I'm gonna create a function here and say whenever I have data, so on data, I will grab this chunk and then I will do something, okay? So whenever I have, I will do a for each and I will have the consumer. Actually, I'm gonna grab the consumer and the index right there. So we can actually ping them and delete if you want, okay? So I'm gonna write to the writable string there with this chunk. Oops. And a good practice is to check if my customer is ready to receive. So if the writable ended, this means that the user is disconnected. Okay, so I will put right here. We're gonna do this more often in the final projects, okay? But just for you who is already experimenting with it, it's nice to check. So check if the consumer is still active, okay? Otherwise, we're gonna remove it. So delete consumers index, and then I'm gonna return, okay? I won't try sending messages for those who are offline, okay? Otherwise, I will face errors. Nice, 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 nice. Now I can create our broadcaster string. So our broadcaster will be a pass-through. So remember I said a pass-through, they are meant to not interfere in the pipeline. So the pipeline will go and we won't change anything. It won't call any callback because it should run like in background, okay? It's not actually background, but it won't interfere the whole flow. So whenever I have data there, I'll call our on data. Nice. Now we can pipe to our broadcast, okay? And then you're gonna see that we will have the same result on our output file there, okay? Because the broadcast won't interfere. This is why it's called pass-through. It's just to go through the process, report something, grab some data from there, and do some background tests. This was actually made to help testing, right, in Node.js. But let's try out. Let's see the examples. So now we received some bytes there. We got some data in different customers, and then we can see our big file and our output file has exactly the same thing, okay? By the next classes, you're gonna see I'm gonna use this a lot to print out results in some ways or print out some progress bars, put some smart inputs from users there. So you're gonna see this is really exciting, okay? But remember, duplex streams helps us to have different communication channels so we can do a lot more there. And as I said, usually you don't use directly the duplex string. You usually do pass-through or a transform string. But in case you want to see where is your data source and where is your final destination, you could do the same way I wrote here, okay? In the next class, I'll create a project with you to go even deeper into duplex streams. We are gonna create a server-to-server chat application using only the native Node.js modules. Don't forget to evaluate this class by clicking on the star below. And if you have any questions, use our comment section or our Discord channel to discuss it with other students. I hope this class has exceeded your expectations. I'm Eric Wendell, and I'll see you in the next class.